ago. I said, you know, it would be cool to have a 600cc sports bike. And she sort of immediately kiboshed that, said, no, there's toys I want as well. And I can't blame her because she buys me a ton of stuff. And if I have this motorcycle, it's totally thanks to her. So I know she wants a Sea-Doo. And the thing is, we just don't have room right now to store it anywhere. Because I wouldn't mind one either, but you know what? If I retire in a couple of years, 3 years, well then, yeah, we're going to be looking at stuff like that. The thing is, you know, you got to make sure you got money for retirement as well, right? Because we both had to start all over. We're both divorced and remarried, so and we both lost out big. I remember, like, man, I lost the house. I got the kids because there's a big reason for that, which I won't get into. But yeah, there he is. Yeah, so, but lawyer fees were like $42K by the time it was all said and done, and I lost a $500,000 house. So we both had to start all over. So we have a mortgage, you know. It is what it is, but, you know, we're working, making ends meet. We're not suffering, so. There's Scott. He just loves his wheelies. He needs to get it out of his system, you know. If there's any room for me to pass. Yep. Although, like I said before, the truck has to pick up speed once he sees people passing them. Yeah, that's one thing that really irks me because I find it extremely unsafe. Because, you know, you make your calculations that you have this much time to pass this person before the oncoming car reaches you. And then they add like 30 miles an hour to their speed. And now you're booting it and you got to make a decision. Do I clear or do I just fall back? And it just drives me nuts. But anyway, enough ranting. Ford Big Bug. I hope there's nothing on the lens. And Mr. Scott today said he quit smoking, so it's all good. Quit smoking, became a vegetarian. I called him a fag. Just out of fun. He's a cool guy. Yep, we got rid of one slow guy. Bikes. I knew it was going to happen in the afternoon. It was kind of chilly this morning, you know. I had to wear a fleece under my coat, and I lost as soon as I got back into Canmore because it was getting a little hot. So, and when I get home, I got to deal with a small dilemma. My wife went to turn on the AC unit yesterday, and it looks like the fan on the furnace died. Just making weird noises, no air blowing out. So I'm going to take a look at it, see if I can do it, or if I even have time to do it. If not, we'll have to call someone in. Which I'm sure won't be cheap, because in the land of furnaces over here, they sure soak you. The one thing I need to do, and I recommend, is like there's little things that you can order online and just store in your house. like an extra motherboard for your furnace, an extra piezo igniter, flame sensor. If you order them online, like a flame sensor is like 19 bucks. You need to get a guy in to change it, it's 119 bucks. It's like, man, that's what happened to me, and it always happens on a Sunday night around 10 o'clock, and it's 25 below outside, of course. So yeah, now you're screwed, and you got to pay the 120 bucks. Yeah, this road you always see a lot of bikers. It's a cool road to drive. Then you got the guy with the ape hangers like way up there that doesn't dare take his hands off, so he just lifted 2 fingers. I saw one guy, I was telling Scott last year, he had his he had a Harley with ape hangers on it, and they were like the handles were like almost glued together and like way over his head. I have no idea how he was even steering that thing. There you go, you got a Ferrari Testarossa and a bunch of bikes. Won't be long before they pass the Ferrari though. Hopefully I got the camera angle right on this thing. It's not like I can tilt it any higher, maybe just a millimeter, because or else then my visor will hit. It is what it is, one of my famous sayings. Funny thing is, people, you know, say, man, you know, I never even heard of that. And then they saw bumper stickers with it as well. It is what it is. So I said, yeah, it's not like I invented it. I just like to say, you can't really change anything. It is what it is. There's a little horse all by himself. I saw a bike fly off this last year, man. The guy took it a bit too hot. Right into the barbed wire. And it's not like the guy could have leaned it anymore. He was pretty maxed out. Whereas you get to see some guys, like the guy I saw last year as well. He got totally target fixated. He had more than, like he was doing 60 and he could have easily taken that turn, but he got so fixated at this area of the ditch, and that's exactly where he pointed his bike. And then locked up his tire just before he left the road. Didn't get hurt, because by the time he left the road, he was doing like maybe 20 kilometers an hour. But, man. So I stopped, helped him. He was okay. No real damage to the bike. Just some grass stuck where it didn't belong, you know. It was more of an ego bruiser than anything else. And you know what? Like, even me, once in a while, I'll find myself saying, like, you know, daydreaming, and then I get fixated on something, and like I gotta almost slap myself and say, what are you doing? Look at where you want to go and lean. It's happened to me like once or twice over my years, and you know, and it always stems by a bit of daydreaming. So that's one thing to do on a bike, is not daydream, because it'll cost you. Yeah, it's pretty bumpy. I had to slow it down because I didn't want to scrape. It's not good to scrape. You never know when it's going to let go. No, they're going to pass again. Yeah, that was a big buck. Half my visor's screwed now. I'm blind in the left eye. I'm kind of praying that my lens stays clean. I also noticed on some of these roads they started painting these nice yellow lines across it so that they can nail you with helicopters now. They just count how many seconds it takes for you to get from one line to the next, and they know exactly how fast you're going. And the guy speeds up. Yeah, you could probably look at my windscreen and see how many bugs I picked up so far. My effort at debugging the planet. There you go. And there is a guy that's in a dead stop. Yes, I am much slower with this bike, but still not bad. I couldn't imagine following these guys with an 800. I got a friend of mine, he's got a Triumph Rocket 3. That thing is like mental. It's a 2.3 liter engine, and he's waiting for warranty to expire so that he can stick a turbo on it. And the guy doesn't ride it like a cruiser, he rides it like a sports bike. It's like, man, I tried following this guy, he's like mental. But he knows what he's doing, right? But you never know what's on the asphalt, man. Pushing it too hard. Because I saw over there on a curve over there near my place, someone dumped a whole ton of, like, it looked like their transmission went and it just spewed a ton of oil. So you always got to keep an eye out. Like I said, no daydreaming. There's Ghost Lake. I wonder if Scott's going to stop at Ghost Lake. I think it'd be cool. Bikers. Yeah, this is where I'm going to be hunting in November. Like back there, this guy owns a huge ranch. This guy's actually a billionaire. It's like, man, the stuff he has on there, he's got his own museum. He's a super cool guy. For a billionaire, you know, he doesn't act like a billionaire, doesn't even act like a millionaire, doesn't even act like a rich guy. It's like he acts like he's your best friend, you know, and he's known you for your whole life. It's like amazing. Like guys like that, man, hats off. He invited me over to Stampede Supper. That's something they do here in Calgary for Stampede Week, you know, like you get companies and stuff, they have like breakfasts and suppers, and they invite you over. It's a big barbecue thing, you know, and so the guy invited me over to his ranch with some other guests, you know, and I'm sure it's going to be a pretty high profile guest, because the funny thing was he invited me over to his office penthouse just before Christmas for like a Christmas party, get together, finger food kind of thing, you know. And I get there, you know, and I said, like, well, what's the dress code? Does that just come in jeans? So I put on, you know, like my best jeans, you know, and then a decent shirt, you know, something like funky, you know. And I show up there, and okay, it's on the penthouse, and the people there, half of them are in tuxes and suits and stuff, and now I'm feeling really out of place, right? So I'm almost like saying, like, why would he tell me to wear jeans, right? But everyone was shunning me, except for the people that work for this billionaire, because they knew who I was. You know, he's a guest, and you know, here's your wine, here's your this, whatever. Treated me nicely. But the guests, you know, totally ignored me because I was dressed in jeans and stuff like that. So I won't be able to make that. So I hover around by myself eating finger food for about a half an hour until the billionaire shows up. And you know who was even over here? Was like the mayor was at this get-together, like, you know, the former mayor, some high-profile lawyers. All these guys are all at this thing, right? So then the billionaire shows up. And who does he spot? He spots me, right, in the middle of a crowd. And he goes, "Hey, my good friend Roberto." So now you should see everyone in the room are looking at me saying, who the heck is this guy that he would be greeted first? So it totally changed the mood for the night. Now you have to see how many people were sucking up to me, not knowing who I am. You know, I said, well, if this guy treated him like that at first get-go, he's got to be someone important. Man, all I am is an asset disposal analyst for Canadian Pacific Railway. But what I did was, this guy's got his own museum, this billionaire, and he's into a lot of railway stuff. And I managed to find some relic pieces that would have gotten scrapped and donated a shitload of stuff to his museum. So for that, he's like eternally grateful. Became his best friend. I can hunt his property. I get invited to all his parties, you know. He's just like the coolest guy. And he even said, oh good, he's going to stop at Ghost Lake. He even said, when you're on my property, you know, just go into the shed. There's 2 bikes there you can borrow to go canvass the land. And you know what he's got? He's got 2 Rokons. Those are like those all-wheel drive bikes. It's like the weirdest thing. Man, you can climb anywhere with those things. I was like totally impressed. Super cool. Oh, we're going to go in mud? No, we're not.